John was here today, and I was saying, oh yes, I knew him well, he was a terrific guy and stuff, he'd be saying, you know, a load of rubbish. It's a tug of war, what with one thing and another, it's a tug of war. So I rang Stevie up, you know, he was my kind of first choice, because I admire him anyway. And he said, yeah, you know, he was interested in doing it, so we went out to Montserrat in the Caribbean and recorded it.
Recently, while filming at Shepperton Studios, Paul McCartney gave us this rare inside look into his life, feelings, and reasons for a musical reunion with legendary star record producer George Martin on the production of Tug of War.
What about if we just do track by track on the album? But first of all, I believe George Martin was involved in the production of the album.
Yeah.
Is this the first time you've worked with George for a long time, or?
Well, the last real time was the Beatles. But then after then, I worked with him once on Live and Let Die, James Bond song. And that was the only other time I worked with George. And then I haven't worked with him since then. But, you know, I was just sitting around and I thought, well, it'd be nice to work with George again. And I don't know, you know, when you've worked with someone and then you've stopped working with them, I don't know, for some reason you sort of think, well, I don't know, maybe I won't give him a call or something. I suddenly thought, well, it's crazy, you know, I'd love to work with him again. I'll just ring him and see if he fancies the idea too. And he said, oh, great, you know, let's do it.
I never really thought I would work with Paul again, because, well, he's a pretty good producer in his own right, and I didn't really think he needed me. In fact, the last time we worked together was on Live and Let Die, when I produced a single for the film. And that was the first occasion since the Beatles, so a long time had passed.
Did it bring back any memories of your recording days with the group?
Of course, yeah. I mean, it was a year of nostalgia, really, in a way. I was very, very pleased that we actually did get together. We've seen each other for quite a few years, you know. We've been friends anyway and had dinner and that kind of thing. And then after one evening, he suddenly said, how'd you like to produce another album? And I was rather shattered by it. But once we got into harness together, it worked beautifully.
Well, George is, in my view, is like a really great producer. He's got such experience. He goes way, way back, further back than he'd probably wish us to remember. I always say he goes back to the cylinder myself, but he won't have that. He goes back to really early recordings. He used to do The Goons, he used to do Peter Sellers. Remember that Peter Sellers and Sophia Loren record?
Oh, yes, Goodness Gracious Me.
George did all that stuff, so he's got vast experience. And then he's got all the Beatles experience, so the thing about him, in truth, is that it's really easy for me to work with him. I mean, I know him so well, you know, I can just say, well, how about that, George? And I can tell whether he likes it or not, you know. So it was easy picking up that relationship again.
I mean, we both worked very hard on it, trying to make it really good. I hope people don't say it's overproduced. I think it's really the result of just being very careful and trying to get the very best we could out of Paul McCartney, and not having a group, you know, it isn't Paul and not Wings, because I reckon he's such a great artist that he should always have people supporting him who are the very best. So we went ahead with that principle and said, well, why don't we have the very best musicians as they come along?
Take it away, wanna hear you play till the lights go down. Take it away, don't you wanna stay till there's no one else around? Take it away, wanna hear you play survivor, carrying the load. Switches on his radio. Take it away, wanna hear you play till the lights go down. Down, down. Take it away, don't you wanna stay till there's no one else around? Take it away, wanna hear you play till the lights go down. Down, down. Take it away, don't you wanna stay till there's no one else around? In the audience, watching the show, with a paper in his hand. In his hand, some important impresario as a message for the band. Oh, take it away, wanna hear you play till the lights go down. Down, down. Take it away, don't you wanna stay till there's no one else around? Maybe listening to you, maybe listening to you, maybe listening to you. Take it away, take it away. After hours, late in the bar, by a dark and corner seat. Faded flowers wait in the jar till the evening is complete. And if I said I really knew you well, what would your answer be? If you were here today, here today.
I was wondering, if I would write anything connected with John's death. And for a while, I just thought, well, there's nothing coming to me at all. But I sat down one day, was just strumming along, and that was the sort of idea that occurred to me, was like that if John was here today, and I was saying, oh yes, I knew him well, he was a terrific guy and stuff, he'd be saying, a load of rubbish. It was in his character, so that's sort of what the song's about. It says, and if I said I really knew you well, what would your answer be? Well, knowing you, you'd probably laugh and say that we were worlds apart and so on and so on, this kind of thing. And then it says, if you were here today, and it's about that.
Here today.
You said recently that if you're stranded on a desert island, one of the songs you'd take was John Lennon's Beautiful Boy. Wouldn't you take one of your own songs along?
Well, on the program I was on, you're only allowed 8 records. So on the original list, I had about 70 songs, like just songs I like. And I had to bring that down to 8. So you've got to knock out something. So I decided that I've heard my stuff, and it was just a decision. I had to make a decision. We were recording the show 2 days later. So, I mean, maybe those aren't the 8 I would take, What are you going to do? Maybe I'd change them. But I just thought I chose one of John's instead, just to kind of sum it all up. And from the Beatle thing. The rest were mainly rock and roll things, early rock stuff, you know.
You purchased the Buddy Holly catalogue of songs a couple of years ago. Would you have taken any of those songs along?
Yeah, you know, they were on my 70. In the 70, all of those things were there. There was a little selection of Beatle tracks, you know, favourite Beatle tracks and everything. And they were all there, but as I say, I had to bring it down to 8, and that's really hard to do. I mean, you try it sometime.
I wouldn't.
Your 8 favourite records. I got a lot more than 8 favourite records, you know. So I had to kind of just sum things up. So I kind of, instead of, I like quite a lot of classical music. I don't know much about it, but I like the kind of, you know, the more obvious kind of classical tunes and stuff. But I actually only just chose one for the program to sum it up, you know.
With Buddy Holly songs, are you ever likely to record some of those?
Well, maybe. Yeah, I love them, you know. For me, Buddy stuff is all from when I was about 15. That, to me, you know, is like a very hot period for me, you know, like for everyone, I think. You know, it's a great period. And to me, it brings back so many memories. You know, like a lot of people have got the same thing with Beatle music.
Yeah.
They kind of say to me, oh, I remember just where I was with Hey Jude, you know, or Me and My Girlfriend, My Love, or whatever it is, you know. Well, for me, a lot of that's Buddy stuff. It's very evocative.
Do you think there's a difference between music that is around now and music that was around then?
Yeah, but you know, the thing is then people were saying there's no melodies in this rock and roll. Every record sounds the same. Or they say about new wave, everything sounds the same. But I think to the fans of it, they don't sound the same. Like to us rock and roll fans, you could have never persuaded me Chuck Berry was anything like Bill Haley or Little Richard. But, you know, analysts tend to sort of group it all together and sort of say, so I think it's pretty good music today. I think the big difference probably is just the technological thing. That when they were making those records, it was just, it was a straight performance. They didn't do much in overdubs. Well, nowadays, I mean, you can record, like, what, 92 tracks if you want.
Yeah.
And that makes a difference to actually the sound in the end.
You wanna love to last forever, one that will never fade away. I wanna help you with your problems. If you're around, I say, honey, like a flower, honey, I say.
Paul, there's a song on the album called "The Pound Is Sinking." Is this a comment on the economy, or?
To me, it's a joke, you know, because you always see the headlines, you know, the pound is sinking. No, wait a minute, it's rising. No, it's sunk again. Wait a minute, the dollar's going up now. Wait, you know, and it's always that. They're always kind of talking about the fluctuating. And to me, it just kind of seems funny, you know, the pound is sinking, you know. I don't know why.
Do you spend a lot of time reading about the finances and?
No. You can't miss it though, can you? You know, it's always headlines, you know. Oil crisis, the pound is sinking, Britain's going under, you know. I just think it's funny, really. I mean, maybe you shouldn't laugh at it and stuff, but I can't help it, you know. I just think it's silly, all that stuff. So this is sort of like a money market song, you know, all about the pound is sinking, the ruble's rising, the dollar's moving, the mark is marching, and the yen is keeping up, which hardly seems surprising.
I love the lyric. Tell me, what's your favorite song on this album?
I don't really have one. I think I like each one of them for something. You know, each one of them's got one kind of ingredient that I like. I like Take It Away because it's a bit of a sort of bopper and it moves. I like Tug of War for the sort of production thing and the sort of mood of it.
It's a tug of war. What with one thing and another, it's a tug of war. We expected more, but with one thing and another, we were trying to outdo each other in a tug of war. In another world, in another world, we could stand on top of the mountain with our flag unfurled. In a time to come, in a time to come, we will be dancing to the beat played on a different drum. It's a tug of war. Though I know I mustn't crumble, it's a tug of war. But I can't let go. If I do, you'll take a tumble, and the whole thing is gonna crumble. It's a tug of war. In years to come, they may discover what the air we breathe and the life we lead are all about. But it won't be soon enough for me. No, it won't be soon enough for me. In another world, we could stand on top of the mountain with our flag unfurled. In a time to come, we will be dancing to the beat played on a different drum. We will be dancing to the beat played on a different drum. We will be dancing to the beat played on a different drum. It's a tug of war. What with one thing and another, it's a tug of war. We expected more, but with one thing and another, we were trying to outscore each other in a tug of war.
you're singing with somebody else, a very special guest.
Yeah, Stevie Wonder. Yeah. I originally rang Stevie up. I had the song written, Ebony and Ivory, and it's about black people and white people living in harmony. And so I rang Stevie up. You know, he was my kind of first choice, because I admire him anyway. And he said, yeah, you know, he was interested in doing it. So we went out to Montserrat in the Caribbean and recorded it.
Had you worked with Stevie before?
No, I'd never worked with him before. I'd been to his shows and stuff, and I'd met him backstage and that. And he seemed like a nice fella, but I never actually worked with him. But it was been a bit of an ambition of mine, you know.
You seem to be using a greater vocal range than you've used on your albums in a long time. Exactly.
That's the range.
You're doing pieces that I hadn't heard you do on albums, you know, for quite a while.
Yeah, I think it's Stevie's influence, really. You know, that track actually is mainly written by Stevie. What happened was we got together to record Ebony and Ivory, and Stevie, being how he is, he's Mr. Music, you know, you can't stop him once he gets going. So he just started jamming, and I jumped on the drums and sort of just tried to keep up with him and sort of see what was developing. And we developed this song out of that. It just started off as a jam. And then kind of he sat down and wrote the words, you know, and I helped him on a couple of words and stuff. And it was finished like it took a night to do, kind of, we did it on that. So I couldn't do my sort of normal kind of vocal on that because he set the scene, you know. So I had to stretch me a bit, which was nice for me.
Is there any possibility that out of this a single with Stevie there'll be live performances with him?
Well, I mean, there's possibility, you know. Anything's possible.
Or is it probable?
I suppose so. And we haven't actually talked about it. You know, the thing is, you know, like you just do one thing at a time. We've recorded it now. There was some mix-up, actually. There was a chance that he was going to be coming here for this, but he had a record to finish up and stuff, so we couldn't do that. So maybe the next time we get together, we'll be performing live. I don't know, really.
Oh, that'd be quite a...
I'd like to.
Ebony and ivory live together in perfect harmony, side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh Lord, why don't we? We all know that people are the same wherever you go. There is good and bad in everyone. And we learn to live, we learn to give each other what we need to survive. Together alive. Ebony and ivory live together in perfect harmony, side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh Lord, why don't we? Ebony, ivory, living in perfect harmony. Ebony, ivory. We all know that people are the same wherever you go. There is good and bad in everyone. We learn to live when we learn to give each other what we need to survive. Together